Now, what if you built a multiple six-figure real estate business and hit icon status at eXp without ever cold calling, door knocking, buying a single lead, or even running an ad? Because my next guest did exactly that. And the way he did it is going to make a lot of agents rethink the what they've been told. So I have John Schuchman here today. He's a Pennsylvania realtor serving the Lancaster County area. He has been licensed since 2019 and built his entire business through organic social media, storytelling, and relationships. And he's become an icon agent at eXp Realty doing all of that. So, no cold calls, no paid ads, just content, consistency, and showing up authentically online. He did join the Wolfpack because he wanted to be around agents who were growing at a high level and focus on collaboration over competition. Today, he's going to show us exactly how he did it. So let's get right into it. Thank you for being here, John. I very much appreciate it.
Absolutely, Meg. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we'll dive right in. You built a multiple six-figure business and hit icon without cold calling, without door knocking, buying any leads. So when you were starting out in 2019, did you know that was possible, or did you just kind of stumble into that?
I think really the thing for me, and it's so funny because looking back now, it's like the success story that you try to explain in like 5 minutes. But at the time, we were stressed, we were broke. I haven't even told you this, and maybe you know from just knowing me. So my son, who's now 6.5, was born 5 days after I got my real estate license.
Oh,
So
wow.
my real estate career is as old as my first kiddo. Um, And really, the first 3 months was literally like us just figuring out how to be parents. I still remember my wife going back to work from her maternity leave. He was born September 2nd, so I got licensed like August 27, 28, somewhere in there. December 2nd, she went back to work after 3 months of maternity leave on her birthday
Oh,
and cried, and it was terrible. And
oh.
and so I did like the daddy daycare thing, trying to do real estate. And what I think more than anything was like, we were broke. We were like broke. I lost my W-2 job, I lost my last W-2 job February 26, 2019. Went like suicidal thoughts, mental health things after that. Thankfully, like I thought about my wife, that unborn baby boy. And I'm a person of faith, so the Lord really kind of like kept me alive. And so when I got into real estate, I had no money. I still remember when I lost my job, a mentor of mine said, "This is the best thing that ever happened to you." And I'm like crying on the phone. I'm like, "You big idiot. Like you're a jerk. But it really was what I find, Meg, is so many realtors, a lot of us are like ADHD entrepreneurs. We are built to be business owners. We are not built to be W-2 employees. I'm sure you have had different jobs that didn't work out because you were just a dreamer and a visionary, and so almost everyone does that.
Yeah.
So when I got into real estate, I'm like, I don't even know what to do, but I did have a previous side hustle in wedding photography.
Okay.
And so I still have like professional equipment. And I remember thinking like, I don't know what to do. I was doing open houses, but I did remember I'm like, wait a second. Anytime I would like post a gallery, Sam and James get married or whatever, and I would share it on Facebook, someone would contact me looking to book a wedding or graduation photos or engagement photos or whatever. And so I thought, why don't I just try sharing my journey? Now, we can get into any of this today, but every single person out there is like, I don't want to be pitchy. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be this. And it's a bunch of crap, really. Anyone watching this or listening to this, you are in your head about this
Yeah.
because your friends want to support you, right? Right, I'm in Pennsylvania, Meg's in Arizona, right? But if I see her stuff consistently on social media and then someone reaches out to me like, oh, I'm trying to buy in this area of Arizona, Meg is going to be the first person I contact because I see her stuff consistently. So a lot of this, more than anything, Meg, is mindset. people believe I'm pitching, I'm selling, whatever. I don't know if your audience knows Jesse Cole and the Savannah Bananas, but Jesse Cole talks about like whatever is normal, do the opposite. So if
Right.
you look on my Facebook, and any of you watching this can go look at it, it's public. You don't have to friend me, but you're welcome to. I just share my life. I share my journey, right? And what happens, so yes, the short answer is I sort of just fell into it, but I
Yeah.
fell into it because I had no other option. So when I tell people in my bio, I didn't buy leads, buy ads, door knock, cold call. Well, I didn't have the heart to want to cold call or door knock because I hate that when people do that, when my phone rings and it's spam. So why would I do that to someone else? And so I just think a lot about treat others the way you want to be treated. Now, if you
Absolutely.
love cold calling or you love door knocking and you love when people do, by all means, go do it. What my sponsor at eXp, Jeremy Kane, and Jeremy has taught me that everyone needs like an active strategy and a passive strategy. Well, what does that mean? Well, guess what? While I'm here right now with you, Meg, doing this interview, and
Yep.
later when I go to Chuck E. Cheese with my kids, which I promised we would do after school today, my social media is working while
Yes.
I'm not there. And you know
Right.
this because you use social media. So
Mhm.
one of the powerful tools, that's why like I can do these interviews, I can do this. I have 50 agents under me. I can go to Top Golf, I can travel. I travel a lot. I just got back from a cruise. Why? Well, because I just have deals coming to me on social media. I could show you so many examples. Someone that just settled probably a month ago. We were friends in high school. We worked for the newspaper as 17-year-olds writing for the teen section. Did not speak to her since 2009, I think it was. And
Yeah.
she messaged me November of last year. So what was that, 2015? And she said, "Hey, me and my boyfriend are looking to buy a house. We figured we would reach out to the real estate guru himself."
I
I have
love it.
not talked to Carla, shout out Carla, in 17 years,
Yeah.
right? And so that's anyway, I'll shut up and we can go any different direction.
Oh,
But
I love it.
I
No, I love it. I love
I
it.
sort of just fell into it, but now I do not have to do any of that stuff. Honestly, anytime we were even talking before the interview about how before the interview, like how's your business? Is it slow? Both of us we were just
Right.
catching up in our area. I don't chase anybody. If any time business is slow, I remind myself, and I hope this encourages your audience, do what got you there. So I
Right.
just consistently post on social media, reach out to people and check in. We can talk about like how I like serve people through the inbox. There's a bunch of different ways we can go, but a lot of what I do is I post and share my life. I reach out on the DMs. So, like my favorite app is Facebook Messenger. I can pull it up right now and I can just see at the top who's online.
Yeah.
It's agents, it's clients. You could just see who's online and just message them and say, like, "Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing well, checking in, look at their page, see what they've been up to." And so, I mean, you know this about social media. Everyone is waiting for a pitch. Everyone is waiting to be sold. I mean, I'm sure you're on LinkedIn. Everybody's on LinkedIn. Our inboxes are full every day of like, let me do
Oh,
this
yeah.
and this service. What if everyone out there just thought about, and this is what I think about, like, who can I care about, support, and encourage today on social media? I'm not trying to sell a darn thing. And so when you almost reverse it, like do the opposite of what people expect you to do, they almost lean in. Like I do social media coaching.
Right.
Well, I don't sell it at all. But then when people see my stuff, they reach out because I'm not trying to sell it. So anyway, I'll shut up. We can go any direction you want to go, but I'm really
I love
excited about it.
it.
So I kind
I
of
love
just fell
it.
into it and have
Yeah.
built success with it.
It's funny that you say that though, because I kind of had a very similar situation. Like I fell into it too. It's not something that I dreamed of doing. Right. And it's funny because my son was also born in 2019. And I actually got into real estate right after my daughter was born in 2017 because I also lost my W-2 job. And it was a whole different experience. And it was a company I'd been with for 10 years. But that's kind of where I got into. I'm like, what can I do to make a lot of money that it I didn't want to be reliant on somebody else for my livelihood. Like that's kind of where I came to entrepreneurship. Like if I'm gonna
Yep.
fail, if I'm not getting paid, it's gonna be my
Yep.
own fault, not somebody else's fault. So
And I
yeah,
would encourage your audience too, if like I don't know where they're at, whether they've done one deal this year and made $10,000 or they've made $1 million. Here's what I want to tell every single person. The greatest thing about real estate and entrepreneurship, right? All those things, your only limiting piece of it is you.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's mindset, maybe that's work, maybe that's you're in your head about things. But imagine if you just said, you know what? I'm just going to commit. I can
Yep.
promise you, anyone watching this, if you consider, I would watch this and pretend, okay, I'm going to learn from John and Meg today, but I'm not expecting any business for 365 days on social media. That's really hard, right? I was posting consistently for 9 months before I got my first deal. But let's just say a year. I
Yeah.
promise you, we can teach you stuff faster. It won't take that long. But let's just say I'm gonna
For
serve
numbers,
people.
for numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna serve people. I'm gonna connect, and I'm gonna post every day. I guarantee you, your income next year will far exceed your income this year. It
100%.
will, because social media is a long game,
Yep.
right? So that's the thing. If I tell you guys something to do today, you're not going to get a lead tomorrow. You're just not. But I promise you, if you do the work consistently, we've both seen this
100%.
from Mike Shamard, the business will come, the deals will come.
Absolutely. And you're spot on because I didn't build my business off of social media. I built it off of cold calling and open houses
Mhm.
and sphere reach out and all of those things. And this last year, I have really dove into my social media. And 2025, where a lot of agents very much struggle, was my best year yet. So
Mhm.
that if that doesn't say something, but it took a year. It did take a year to build. I'm almost a year on YouTube consistently, and
Yep.
the short form, I'm about a year and a half. So yeah, I love that. But touching on social media, so you talk about storytelling as a business tool. What does that mean in practice for a real estate agent, and why do you think it works when traditional tactics do not?
Yeah, I think it's very simple. So if I ask anyone, I would ask anyone listen to this, if you're in your like write this down, put it on a note on your phone, whatever. What are like five things that make you tick? That if I knew these things about you, you like I would know you as a person, right? Well, Meg even sees this, right? I go to Top Golf a lot. I got the membership, right? I love going to the movies. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a person of faith. So like all of this stuff makes me tick. So I would say the best business tactic strategy on social media is don't worry about your business at all.
Yeah.
It's like, right? So Meg, I don't know if you think this, but so many people that see me, they're like, you barely even post about real estate. And it's like I'm so much the opposite. I just posted before I got on this call with you about referrals because I've connected someone to Kyle Mark in our group and my sister
Yeah.
in Tennessee. So like but that the business, see, here's the thing, guys. Every single realtor, like when I talk to anybody, they're like, "Oh, I bought these ads or I bought these things on social media or someone's paying." I'm like, if their business was so great, selling you social media crap to post, like those things they post daily, they would not need you. Okay, let's just be honest. They wouldn't need you if the business was so great. So again, whatever's normal, do the opposite. If you haven't studied Jesse Cole, look him up, right? But so I think about it like everyone, every realtor is like, oh, I got to post about my business and this to make a sale. I'm the opposite, where I
Yeah.
want to share so much of my life. Now, it's something that you, right? I would encourage females, you have to be more careful than me. Unfortunately, like I don't feel like if I'm posting about an open house tomorrow, I don't feel like I have to be cautious. Females do. I'm sad that we live in a world like that, but we
Yeah.
do. So females, please be careful, of course. But I think it's like sharing your life. So for instance, my son has autism, very high functioning, but just a lot of energy. I have talked about that, not to sell a house, but
Right.
just to encourage other moms and dads who have a kid with autism and
Right.
try to help them. And I have gotten deals from that. So again, now don't share your kids or we've shared about church hurt or all these things. Don't share that to get business. But when you just share your life, you will get business. So
Yeah.
I'll try to give you a quick example. My last W-2 job was in banking. When people would walk into the branch, Meg, and see me, I could look at your account and you're Meg, you're coming in, you're like, can I withdraw $1,000? A lot of people in the branch are like, yeah, sure. I'm looking at it and I see like a payment to Capital One, a mortgage to Wells Fargo, a savings account transfer to Ally Bank. And so I'm having a conversation with Meg about like how we deepen that relationship, right? And kind of a silly example, but we all in the mail every single month get those postcards from banks. Move your checking account here, you get $500. Why? Because they work. They wouldn't do them if they don't work. So the point, and I promise I'm getting somewhere with social media. The point is, um, banks do that because they think if I can get Meg to move her checking account here from Bank of America to Wells Fargo, or we'll just talk about two of the bigger ones, I can deepen that relationship with Meg.
Right.
So I used to see this in my bank. Like if Meg comes into my bank and she has a checking account with us, savings account, mortgage, credit card, safe deposit box, CDs, all these things. Meg's probably not moving her checking account for $500. So I would think of it, and we'll get back to social media, as like you interlock your hands. If you have a checking account, I can like kind of rip that apart, even like that, right? If I have a checking account, savings, all these things, like I'm pretty interlocked with that bank. So I want everyone watching this or listening to this to think about your social media as your bank. If you let's say you also like the Phillies, you like golfing, we have connection points. So let's say Meg loves the Arizona Diamondbacks or the Phoenix Suns, right? And she shares about that, right? Or Meg really likes hiking in Arizona. Those connection points, when
Mhm.
she shares about that stuff on social media, she will build connections. You'll have people that were like, oh my goodness, I wanted to go there for a hike. Did you like it? Did you not? My clients almost every single night, I have showings tomorrow, and they'll say, oh, did you go to the Phillies game last night? Why? Because I'm a Phillies season ticket holder.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the Phillies. It can be basket weaving or knitting. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But the more you do your things, your hobbies, and share about them, like my family, faith, all those things, the more you will connect to people and the more they want to do business with you. So I don't even remember what the original question was, to be honest, but I think my point is the more we share about our life, the
Yes.
more we connect with people. When we connect with people, they want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust, right? Meg and me, like, we both have 1,000 realtors in our county. Well, what sets me apart is if I can stand out on a personal level and you
Right.
have a connection point to me, you're not going to go to some other realtor. And what I want to encourage the realtors watching this, Meg, is when I go to listing appointments, and I don't mean this in a cocky way, I don't feel like I'm interviewing ever because
Right.
most of them see me on social media and they're
Hmm.
like, "We want you to list the house. Can you come over?"
Yeah,
And so
100%.
imagine if all of you listening to this can walk into a listing appointment and you feel like, "Oh, I got the deal." Now
Yeah.
you don't say that, but that's how business feels sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I don't beg for business and my social media too. Some people are like, I don't want to put these things. I attract and detract people. I put stuff on there intentionally. We want to cruise last week. Well, why would you put that, John? Then people know you're not busy. No, I am showing people that my priority is my family first. And
Right.
so I don't have people that reach out. You know, I'm coaching an agent, and yesterday she's like, well, I had these people that are like, oh, if you can't do it this time, we and you have your kids, we don't want you. Good, make posts about that because those are not your people.
Right.
And so the more we post about ourselves and our journey, we attract the right people find us. And in real estate, we don't need 7,000 people to work with us. We need what, 20, 30, 40 a year, and you're making multiple six figures.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And I used to totally be the agent that would like work with anybody, right? Especially when you first get started. It's like I just want to make the paycheck. And those are the hardest deals ever. Ever, ever, ever. So, I mean, now I'm more in a place where I can like refer them out. And you know, I have a few referring partners in town. So that works out for everybody, but yeah, you don't want to work with everybody necessarily. And it is much easier if somebody understands who you are as a person or what your likes or dislikes are, because like you said, like that's where people resonate and it's like, oh, we have something to connect on. And it makes things so much easier. So you actually did answer that perfectly, that
Great.
question. But so with posting, you know, we gotta talk about consistency because consistency is something every agent talks about, but very few actually execute. So what does staying consistent look like for you on the days when you maybe don't even feel like showing up?
Well, I would say. Almost always, actually, I feel like showing up, and I think it's about changing our mindset. So if I get on social media, like I said, to think about who I can help, support, and encourage, I have an obligation to do that. My mentor, who, the same one that said this is the best thing that ever happened to you when I lost my job, years ago, he challenged me on social media and he said, "You're being selfish by not sharing your journey." And I'm like, "No, Vincent, I'm being selfish when I do talk about myself." And he's a great mentor and I pay him good money to yell at me. So he's like, "Shut up." He's like, "You have no idea." So he basically got me to the point where I understand that I am serving people when I share my journey. Now, again, it might sound weird at first, but anyone watching this, Meg, do you have realtors in your, this is what he said to me. He said, Schuchman, he called me Schuchman. He's like, "Do you have realtors in your area that suck?" I'm like, "Yeah." And Meg does, right? I'm sure she could name them, but she won't right now, right? Um, so we all know realtors that are just going to take advantage of people. So Vincent's encouragement to me and my encouragement to all of you is not only you're being selfish when you don't post, but I would actually challenge you. You have an obligation to share what you're doing and how you're different,
Yeah.
right? I know, Meg, right, that you genuinely care about people. It's not, you're not taking advantage of people, you're not ripping them off.
Right.
So I would almost, we'll kind of pretend you're challenging me. You're not, but like Meg almost has an obligation to explain how she's different. Right before we got on this call, I posted a post about just referrals, one to Kyle Mark, one to this agent in Tennessee. That could be like, oh, John's talking about himself and how great he is. But no, I actually just want the world to know, because here's the thing, it breaks my heart. A friend in Vancouver bought a house, had a very bad situation going on.
Right.
We'll just put it that way. And then Kyle, Mark, who's amazing in our Wolfpack crew, when he talked to this friend, was like, they've been taken advantage of. And so I have an obligation to connect people that have integrity. So
Right.
I would say consistency comes from, first of all, doing it every day. You've kind of seen I've been on this health journey. Guess what? If I have pizza tomorrow, it's a lot harder the next day and the next day and the next day to not have it. So day
Right.
one's always the hardest. I would say 99% of the people listening to this and watching this right now are playing defense on social media, not offense. You are throwing crap at the wall and you're wondering why it doesn't stick. You are using AI to write all of your crap. I use AI to clean stuff up. It does not. Imagine if I take a picture and I say, AI, write this post about Meg having me on her podcast, and it's going to make up this crap. Imagine if I wrote it, though, saying, here are the questions Meg asked. Here's what she does in Arizona and how she does a great job. It's going to be a lot more heartfelt. Even Adam Gillespie, I was on a call with him today, was like, I'm all about AI, but there's so much AI crap that we have it like replacing us. So
Yeah.
I would say consistency comes from day one is right now. Turn this off, pause it, go make a post in 5 minutes and come back and listen to it. Like there's always later, there's always this. So it's like, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to do this no matter what. I guarantee you, if you were posting every day on social media, sharing your journey and about real estate, there is no reason you should not be making six figures a year from now.
Yep.
So if you don't want to make money, anytime I'm on a coaching call or whatever, I'm like, who wants to make money? Everyone raises their hand, but they don't want to like do the work to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the front end work that you see 9 months later.
Yeah.
Like I have people come in 17 years ago, 15 years ago, 10. If you don't have that, that's because you're not posting consistently. So I would say play offense, not defense. One of the things that really helped me years ago was I don't go, like I love watching the Phillies. We've talked about this. I don't watch the Phillies game tonight unless the post for tomorrow is ready, right? How many of you go home and watch Netflix and whatever to veg out? No, no, no. If you want to veg out, then you write that post for tomorrow. And that can be the first thing at 9 a.m. that you post. Eat that
Right.
frog, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I love that. I actually really like that. Like you're holding
yeah,
yourself accountable and it's like a little reward. You do what you're supposed to do and then you get to do what you want to do. So I actually really like that. I might have to
yeah,
implement that for myself. That's a good
yeah.
one.
Thank you. And I think too, Meg, here's the deal. It's like anything can be a tool.
Yeah.
I can get in my car right now and go down the street and run somebody over, or I can go help a client sell a house. I can use Facebook. Here's what I would encourage people. All of us are doing it. We get on Facebook and TikTok and whatever and Reels, and we mindlessly scroll. What
Yes.
if I could encourage all of you to take 15 or 20 minutes and purposefully scroll? Who can I support, help, and encourage? And then take the other 15 minutes. Like here's the deal. If you're gonna, we all scroll for an hour at night. How about make it 20 minutes and you care about people for 20 minutes and you make a post for the next day for 20 minutes? That will change your business more than like mindlessly scrolling reels, which we all do, but you can limit it.
Yeah, do it in moderation.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And so, no, you did join eXp and the Wolfpack because you wanted to be around agents who focus on collaboration over competition, which is what I absolutely love about our group.
Mhm.
So how has that environment actually changed the way that you think about and run your business?
Yeah, great question. I think the biggest thing is if you're on the outside, you're like, no, it's a pyramid scheme. It's some scam. I'm not gonna do it. Here's what you're gonna do instead. You're gonna get on a call. You're gonna hear Meg because like it's changed her business, it's changed her life. I will share an example. I remember joining, Jeremy Kane contacted me, reached out. At first, he scheduled a call, and it was definitely to pitch EXP. And I remember saying it was actually a social media audit at the time, which I do for agents from time to time for free. And I'm like, if you're here to pitch EXP, I'm not interested. Excuse me. And he's like, okay. And then what Jeremy did was he joined my membership group that I have on Mondays, teaching social media. He helped, supported, encouraged me for 2 years. I had a podcast conference in Denver and I was coming in and he's like, "Oh, you could just stay at our house." And I'm like, "Okay, this guy's either legit or an axe murderer and I'm about to find out somewhere in between." So like Jeremy had me stay at his house. Like I met his wife Sarah, I met their girls,
Oh.
three, their three daughters. He had a family cookout on Sunday and he just was like, "Hey, you're welcome to join us." Like and so I realized like when I was ready for brokerage change, I'm like, wait a second. Why would I go to this company that rolled out the red carpet this weekend?
Mhm.
Why wouldn't I go to where Jeremy has already made me feel like family? And when you join a company like the Wolf or a group like the Wolf Pack, you can kind of feel like that's great, but I'm just a number. I'm not important. Not true at all. I still remember Meg. I will never forget. I'm probably 5 months into being a agent here. Now, here's the other part of this. I've learned a lot about humility and serving people. If I was Connor Steinberg or Mike Sherrard, I'm making multiple millions of dollars in rev share. I'm like, screw you guys, and I'm living on a beach. But they have taught me that the best way to grow your group is to continually serve your group. So they have calls every single week for us.
Every week.
And I still remember I'm 5 months in, 6 months in, I'm at a movie because I love going to the movies. Thankfully, I was in a theater alone. This is where I go to decompress and be in silence because I talk a lot. And I remember getting a text and it said, "Hey John, this is Mike Sherrard. I love seeing what you're doing. Would you be willing to like lead a wolf pack call?" I actually am so curious. I want to go find it for you. And I literally like fell over. We're gonna find it, Meg. We're gonna do it. It
Do it, do it. I would
was
love to hear it. Yeah.
this is oh now John lost it. Here we go. All right, so this was April 9th, 2024. I had been at the Wolfpack about 8 months. Yo, John, it's Mike Shard. Would you be down to take one of the Tuesday Wolfpack calls and share your story, what you're doing to get business from social media? I was a little eager. I responded 2 minutes later. I maybe should. So like I'm like, oh my gosh. So like that to me was like they're watching,
Mhm.
right? And you've seen it. They want their leaders who are crushing it to lead calls.
Yeah.
And of course, being an icon agent, part of that is like you get half that stock back when you just lead a call for the group or why? Because they want their icon agents, their best agents, leading training to help their other agents. And so it took me a couple years to come to EXP, and I'm like, I can. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. I'm not going to sell any real estate. I need a physical office. I remember thinking about and praying about when I was ready for a change. And here's the most important thing. My brother-in-law operates a Chick-fil-A locally. And I remember being at his cabin New Year's Eve or around that time, the year I came, so 6 months before I came. And he's asked me the most important question. He said, well, if you go to this company, you're at a big brand, right? Big maroon sign and all that. He's like, if you go, what of your business would you lose? which is a great question to ask. So I did the research on who worked with me because of the big brand and who worked with me because of John Schuchman. One person in 4 years. And so I said, okay, I will lose point, whatever. I guess it was 1% of my business or maybe 5%. I don't know how many deals. Yeah, probably 2% of my business in that one client. Okay. I'd probably done 50 deals by then. And I said, but what will I gain?
Right.
And I remember saying to my wife, she's like, I don't even understand this thing and this cloud, whatever. I said, I feel like I have to try it and I will always regret not trying it.
Yeah.
Well, I come over, I said, I'm not going to recruit. And Jeremy laughed at me. He said, you're never going to recruit. And of course, I had my Philly accent. I'm like, whoa, like, shut up. I joined, crushed it, capped the first year, capped the second year, icon agent, capped this past year. Now I've almost 50 agents. It has literally changed my life. And so you
Yeah.
can think it's a pyramid scheme, it's a scam, whatever, that's fine. What I realized, and I would say this to anyone, no matter where you live, I knew I was a good agent. Any of us, Meg, you and me could go to anywhere tomorrow and they would take us.
Right.
I knew I'm like, I want to try this model. And I'm like, and if the train is leaving, there was only one other agent in my area. So like that's kind of risky, right? But I'm like, if it's going to crash and burn, at least I'm driving the train. So the EXP train went through Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and
Yeah.
the driver, and it all could have flown off a cliff, but instead how it's grown, you know, and I'm really proud. I have 50 agents, but I think what I'm most proud of really is I have 15 agents locally. So we have a local
That's
crew that
awesome.
gets together. We
Yeah.
have happy hours. We have meetings. If I, we had a family emergency a couple months ago and I could ask my crew, hey, can
Mhm.
someone help? And it feels like a family. And what I think, and Meg, I'm sure you've experienced this, one of the cool parts about our group, the Wolf Pack, and the way I say it is like, it's like a team without paying for a team. It's not
Yeah,
a team, it's a revenue
100%.
share organization. So you don't pay me a dime. When you guys call Meg right after this YouTube video and tell her you want to join, you never pay Meg a dime,
No.
right? You don't. And so that's where, yeah. So anyway, it's completely changed my business, changed my life. There's a lot of copycats out there. They can't do it like our group can. The biggest thing, guys, if you're looking at, I mean, we know, right? Remax was bought by Real Broker a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Cloud is the future. Cloud is the
Yep.
future. And so I would say, no matter who it is, like there's all these ones and we won't name them, right? But the biggest thing is who do I have above me coaching and training me and what am I paying them? Well, at
Right.
all these normal brokerages, you're paying people, you know, you have Meg, her upline, all these different things to help guide you. And Meg, how much do they pay you? I forget. Oh yeah,
The agent, they
zero,
don't pay me anything.
$0. Right.
They pay
So
me nada.
yeah. So it's been life changing. I mean, it's even cool to be on this interview with you. We met at eXp Con and the Wolfpack events and boats and
Yeah.
all these. And so that stuff is really fun. I feel like I actually have had a lot going on, and I'm like, I haven't been on the calls. I miss my family, like my Wolfpack
Yeah.
family recently. And so
Yeah.
we really do feel like I mean, I feel like I could name 100 people right now in the wolf pack that I talk to like every few days. And I'm
Right.
really proud of that and proud of like what we've created and what Mike and Connor have been a part of building.
Yeah. No, I agree 100% because EXP is my fourth brokerage. So, I I mean, our community is just wonderful. And I love that, like, I love that I can reach out to somebody who is not here and you're telling me what's working in your market. And then I
Yeah.
can bring that here and it sets me apart from the other agents. And, it brings a whole different value proposition, but everybody's so willing to just share. And I think that is like the biggest takeaway. But yeah, I love that it's like a team, but not a team. You don't have to pay team
Hmm.
splits. You get your own. My big thing, so I started out on a team when I got into real estate
Hmm.
and I didn't get any MLS recognition. So if you go and actually look at my stats, it doesn't look like I got started when I got started. And that to me was more detrimental than the
The
split,
numbers.
'Cause
Yes. Yeah.
it's like, where's my internet appearance? Like, where am I? So I love that you touched on that because you're 100% right. And we do it better than anybody else, in my opinion. So
Yeah. And here's another thing I would say. I have talked to Leah Perea, Holly Mayberry, Susan McLean, oh my goodness, I'm trying Brian Ellington, leaders in our corporation. And my favorite part too, like, so they speak to us, they come to our calls. I would say this too, even this interview right now, guys, is showing you something. At my previous brokerage, I had a podcast. I've had a podcast since 2021.
Right.
I'm not kidding you. My previous team leader in 2021, oh my goodness, I get so mad thinking about it, said, "What? Why do you have a podcast? What do you know about real estate?" And I'm like, if the only thing I teach them is here's how to get through the classes and here's how I did my first 5 deals. It wasn't like I hadn't, yeah, wait, I had sold 7 houses at that point. And the thing is, like, it was so much. They're like, you can't have a podcast, to the point where I had to go to the Association of Realtors and get permission to have a podcast. Now I put that in the show notes, it didn't represent the brokerage's
Oh
opinions.
my
At
gosh.
eXp, they want me to have content. They encourage it. My podcast is on KGCI. So eXp has a radio station, guys. Ask Meg about it, where you can listen to podcasts. You will hear my annoying voice on there, right? Like, so
I love
like they encourage us to create content to serve people. And
Yes.
so that, I mean, and we both know this from being in other brokerages. The people with the secrets, the icon level agents, whatever, at other brokerages, they are not sharing any information. They will not tell you a darn thing. They don't want to share their secrets because they are hoarding. And I have a group right on Mondays with my agents and some others, and I give the stuff away. Like, now, again, they're competition. Some of them live near me, but I believe in an abundance mindset, and I think our group believes that in that so much. Like, even if Meg lived a block away from me, she would still share her secrets. It wouldn't be like,
Oh,
no, I'm not sharing with
100%.
you, because we believe, and as we've seen eXp and our group, the Wolfpack, grow, it's collaboration over competition, and that is how we win. And so if you're at a brokerage where
100%.
you're not feeling like that, get in Meg's DMs,
Yeah.
contact her today, and she can help you
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that actually because any local agent who knows me and who comes to my events or just comes and hangs out with me know that I share everything. I believe there's enough business for us all, and I also want every agent to win. I'm just that's just my mindset. So,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
shared that as well because we are very much on the same page as far as that goes.
Yeah, and I
So,
think too, like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? There's an agent under me now, but this is not how we met. And a lender recommended they sit down with me. We sat down, and when we sat down, we actually ended up being there for like 3 hours. And her husband and my wife thought we were dead. So they call it, and I'm like, no, no, we're sitting here, we're fine, we promise. But I remember her saying, I'll never forget when we sat down. She said, I didn't think you would sit with me. And I said, why? Because the lender made a recommendation. She's like, no agent has ever helped me. What kind of an industry are we in? So sad. Where she'd been in real estate 2 years and she felt like no one had ever helped her. I talked to her about social media for like 3 hours, right? Our spouses thought we were dead. And then she's like, "Well, can I join your brokerage?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you?" And she said, "Well, you've helped me more than my broker is helping me." Now I was out of my previous brokerage, and so then we came over together. But
mind blowing.
that should motivate all of us to do better.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Right. Yeah, nailed it right on the head. So yeah, that's wild. I couldn't even imagine. But yeah, that's so crazy. Well,
Yeah.
John, you have a multiple six-figure business, icon status, zero cold calls, zero paid ads, built entirely on content, relationships, and showing up authentically. And you are proof that there is a better way to build this business. So I really appreciate you sharing all of that. And for those of you watching, if this conversation resonated with you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single interview on this channel. And if you are ready to build a business that actually feels like you, click the link in the description and book a call with John and I because we would love to chat with you. I will also make sure that I post all of his links in the description so you can follow along with him as well. Thank you, John, so much again for being here, and I will see you later.
Thanks so much. And I will say, just last thing,
Yeah,
anyone that ever has questions, seriously, it's not like DM me anytime on Facebook or message me. I'm happy to help.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
See you guys.